Hey guys, how you doing today? It's Barb with Halfway to Sane, and today we have a story about a man who beat his girlfriend in front of a in-home security camera system. So, takes brains, people, it takes brains. So anyway, a Colorado man who was charged with beating his girlfriend to death during a Denver Broncos game in front of an in-house surveillance camera has pled guilty, but only to assault in the second degree, which is a criminal offense that involves intentionally causing physical harm to another person or making them fear for their safety. So he only pled guilty to harming her, not killing her. In an interview with police, Matthews stated he and Stephanie both started drinking while watching the Broncos game the prior afternoon. He said Stephanie had headbutted him as he sat on the couch, and Matthew responded by pulling her down to the couch next to him and restraining her. It's usually considered a felony, but the exact penalties charges vary by jurisdiction. The prosecutors say they would have had trouble proving the original case of murder in the second degree, saying they could not prove that 38 Matthew Investor knew his actions would have killed 36-year-old Stephanie Long. Well, according to the plea agreement, he is going to spend 10 years behind bars and will serve 3 years of parole and must participate in domestic violence counseling. After reviewing the case filing, they could not prove the defendant intended to cause her death, which is why he was not charged with first-degree murder. Had this case gone to trial, they recognized there would likely be some difficulties in proving the defendant knew his conduct would result in death, which is the standard burden of proof for second-degree murder. Prosecutors dropped the murder charge as well as 2 counts of assault in the first degree, which is a serious criminal charge that typically involves intentionally causing serious bodily harm to another person. It can also include exposing a victim to a substance of activity that could have resulted in serious physical harm or death. They also dropped 1 count of assault in second degree, 1 count of assault in the third degree, and 1 count of harassment. Sheriff deputies previously said that Investor was ignorant to the surveillance cameras and that they were on at the home. He slapped Stephanie and put his hand on her throat on September 17, 2023. She complained about her head hurting when she tried to call 911, but he took the phone from her hand and stopped her when it appeared she tried to escape out the front door. Matthew told varying stories about what happened. I'm sure he did. Bear with me a second, people. Bear with me. Investigators searched the couple's home, and in it they found a video recording. The video showed the argument becoming physical and starting with Stephanie's headbutt. It showed Matthew then stood up from the couch, grabbed her by the throat, slapped her several times, and shook her violently. All told, he blamed Stephanie's drinking, her possibility of using cocaine, or her attacking him. He also said he slapped her to wake her up after she stopped breathing, but details of this tale shifted, such as the source of the couple's argument, supposedly some corn falling from the refrigerator. That's worth fighting over, isn't it? Ay, ay, ay. Stephanie supposedly stood up then when she allegedly headbutted Matthew, in details about their physical contact. He may have struck her today, but he cannot remember. He is not proud of this, but he has been physical with Stephanie in the past. She too has been physical with him in the past, and he has put his hand over her mouth to keep her from screaming while attacking him. However, investigators say they found footage inside of the home showing the couple yelling at each other, and calling each other names the day of the incident, with the argument turning violent at about 5:11 p.m. Matthew struck Stephanie over the head twice with what seemed to be a pillow from the couch. Matthew allegedly grabbed her by the throat, asking her why she was screaming. He let go of her throat but began to violently shake her. And when Stephanie referenced the cameras in the room, Matthew said they were not recording. Until 5:23 p.m., he shook her again, slapped her several times, and put a hand on her throat while Stephanie was sitting on the couch. At one point, she does stand up, and it appears unsteady on her feet. She starts to walk around. It does appear she is bleeding from her mouth. Stephanie complained about her head hurting and tried to call 911 through Google. Matthew said it was not possible, but he did not call 911 on her behalf. He took the phone from her hand, and she also asked him to stop hitting her. She also tried to possibly walk out of the front door, but Matthew stops her. Now, prosecutors say that investigators determined that Matthew attempted to save Stephanie's life and that he called 911. At 12:24 a.m., after finding her unconscious, and performed CPR as instructed by dispatchers. These facts were taken into consideration as well, and this plea agreement avoids future delays and potential risks associated with a trial, while ensuring the defendant serves time in the Department of Corrections. The plea agreement includes prison time, mandatory parole, restitution, and restitution will be discussed at the upcoming sentencing hearing, and the sentencing hearing is set for October 25th. So guys, I will come back and I will follow up on the October 25th sentencing, and then I'll let you guys know what's going on. In the meantime, please do me a favor, hit that like button, thumbs up button, and the notification bell so you know the next time I'm uploading a video. Until then, peace.